Hey friends, it is Jenna, what is up, and welcome back to my first official solo Sunday vlog. So I am currently sitting at my computer right now because every morning I get my coffee, I get my breakfast, and I come down to my office and I get caught up on all of my BGA plays. So you guys saw I played all of my BGA async turns, I've listened to some music, and I'm currently having coffee, which I have it in a Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas mug, of course, because when you guys are seeing this, it is going to be probably the 23rd or the 24th, so Merry Christmas to all of those who celebrate. It's coming very soon. I'm also eating some antojitos for breakfast, which don't know if it's the best idea for me to eat wraps filled with cheese and spicy peppers with coffee in the morning. I don't know how my stomach is going to feel about that, but we'll have to see that later if, you know, things get bad. But anyways, today I'm going to be playing a bunch of different games, basically over on my Patreon, which I always have my Patreon link down below. I asked you guys, or asked my patrons, what games you guys want to see me play out of the ones that I listed. I have a bunch of games down here that I always put on this shelf that are, or I started doing this recently, that's going to be like my games I want to play solo shelf. So I took a picture of that, posted it over on Patreon, had all of the games available to vote for, and the top 5-ish, I actually have like 6 of them that I've learned and I'm ready to play out on the table. But the top ones I have put on the table and we are going to try to play all of them today. Very, very excited. I did, I forget which one it was. Oh yes, it was Ironwood. So Ironwood was within that top 6. It was, I think, tied for second with the most votes. And I tried to learn Ironwood yesterday, and it was just not happening, especially solo, because with the game, it is a 1v1 asymmetric game, where one player is playing as the Ironclad, and then one player is playing as the Woodwalkers. And then if you're playing it solo, then you're going to be going against either the Iron Bot or the Wood Bot. And the solo AIs are pretty complicated, just in the fact that, like, there's a lot of, like, flow charts when it comes to, like, their units, and if their units move, and if their units attack, and if their units are in defense mode, or attack mode, or build mode, if you're playing the Ironclad. So I decided that I think with Ironwood, it's probably best for me, for the first few times that I play it, to play it 2-player. My friend Aiden is really excited about Ironwood, so I think I will try to get it to the table before the end of the year. It is one of the games that I really want to get to the table before the end of the year, which I just actually uploaded yesterday. 10 games, or technically 12 games, that I want to get to the table before the end of the year. So I've actually gotten a few of them to the table already, but we're going to actually get some more to the table right now, so that's exciting. But yeah, Ironwood is one of them, so I think I'm just going to try to play that 2-player with Aiden before the end of the year, get a few plays of it 2-player under my belt, maybe play as both sides so I can get a better feel of how the game plays before I move into playing it solo with the bots, because it's just the type of game that, like, typically I would not go for. I'm not a huge fan of, like, I don't really think it's like a war game, but it's one of those games where you have units and you're moving them around and you're attacking the other player, and based off of where you are and adjacency and your units and your unit strengths, there's going to be like a winner and a loser, and then each of the sides has like an asymmetric winning condition. So it's just typically not a game that I play, and my brain is very, like, good at understanding. So I have taken it upon myself to say, no, Jenna, you're not going to force yourself to try to play this game solo and not have a very fun time, and go into it 2-player first, introduce it that way, and then maybe eventually go into it solo. So anyways, welcome to the first sewing solo vlog. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. I do want to give a quick shout out to Crimson Board Games, which Iris is a board game content creator as well. I will link her channel down below because she's actually done some of these like solo Sunday or just like solo vlogs, and I've really enjoyed them, and part of me wanting to do these vlogs are kind of inspired by her vlogs, so shout out to her. She is wonderful. If you guys enjoy this vlog, I definitely recommend going and checking out her channel because I feel like we have very similar like chill vibes, and we really both enjoy cozy solo gaming, and I feel like we have similar tastes in games, so definitely go and check her out, give her some love. But yeah, anyways, let's get into this. I'm going to finish eating my breakfast. I have one asymmetric turn that I need to take on BGA, which is far away. Ooh. I have so many games going right now. I think I'm currently in, actually, let me check how many async games I'm in right now. I think I'm in like 12 or 13 currently. Oh no. I'm currently in 19 turn-based games. What is happening? I think, yeah, like when I woke up this morning, I had 9 that I needed to take my turn in, so I guess the other 10 just, it's not my turn yet. But yeah, probably 19. Out of those 19, I would say probably a solid 9 of them are Castles of Burgundy. Can you tell I'm obsessed? Probably. Anyways, I'm gonna finish playing this async game. I'm gonna take my turn in Far Away, I'm gonna finish my breakfast, and then we are going to set up one of our games and start playing. I'm very excited. Alright, before we do anything else, I desperately need to tidy up the board game room, so I'm gonna quickly do that, and then I promise we'll get into some gaming. Oh my gosh, would you stop? No one wants to see our dog twerk. Oh my goodness gracious. You guys see what I have to deal with? Alright friends, so it is time to play some games, which I'm very excited about. These are all the games that I did learn yesterday. So we have the Walk and Roll, specifically the expansion for Walk and Roll, which is the Korean Waves expansion. I believe my friend Kat got me the Korean Wave expansion for, I think it was either my birthday last year or Christmas last year. I think it was my birthday. And I haven't played it since, so I really wanted to get that played, so I've learned that. Basically, the Korean Waves expansion works the same as the base game of Walk and Roll, it just introduces a new menu that you play with, so I'm excited for that. I also learned Flower Fields last night. This is a really quite simple, kind of reminds me a little bit of like Patchwork in a way, polyomino game that is from Horrible Guild, so I'm excited to play that one. We also have, oh, I just realized I'm playing 2 Horrible Guild games. Shout out to Horrible Guild. You make some very intriguing games that I'm very excited to play. I also have Evergreen, which was a game that I really wanted to play solo, specifically for the Sewing Solo prompt for this month, for December, which is Enchanting. I figured that it was kind of like Christmassy and wintry and enchanting with all of the trees. So we have that, and then I also have the Pines and Cacti expansion here as well that I might try to play with. I've only learned the base game, I haven't actually learned the expansion, but I feel like it would be pretty easy to play, so, or learn. We also have the Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring trick-taking game that I'm going to try solo, which I'm very intrigued about. I have a feeling it will probably play best multiplayer, but I'm kind of interested in the fact that they've made a solo mode for it. I am very excited to play this, which is Black Sonata. I've had Black Sonata since was early this year. I purchased it at a, bless you, Penny, a board game bring and buy at a local convention called Breakout Con. I was very excited that I found that. And then also over here, I don't know if you guys can see, but I have underneath Evergreen, I have Dorf, Romantik, Sakura. There we go. Someone in the comment section of my last video told me how to pronounce it, which it makes sense exactly how it is pronounced. So anyways, let's get into this. So I think the first game that I want to play is going to be Walk and Roll. My dogs are running around. You guys will hear that a lot. And also you might hear some crazy growling and stuff in the background. So this is the expansion that I'm going to be playing. I've basically put one of each menu board into the base box. I did that a while ago just because I wanted everything to be in one box. I also need to grab a marker, which I think the markers are in the expansion box. But we have these here, or this one here, which is the base game menu. So we have Walk and Roll. We have the simple menu, and then on the other side we have the expert menu. And then with the expansion you get this menu here, which I believe is like a threefold menu. Woo! That is so fun. So you have that side or this side. I don't know which is which. This one is the traditional menu, and then this is the modern menu. I don't know which one I want to play with. I just love all of the pictures so much. You got all of the like typical Korean dishes that like I know and love. We have tteokbokki, we have bibimbap, we have kimchi fried rice, japchae, which I've heard of before, army stew. Oh, so good. And the really cute thing is that the base game comes with a little like wok, which is like the dice tray, which I think is cute. And I will say that the dice, there are two red ones, which in the multiplayer game, typically it would be the active player would be the only one to have access to those red dice. But in the solo game, you just ignore, you just ignore the color of the dice and you just use all 6 of them. So it is a basic roll and write that has a Yahtzee style roll. So you roll all of them, you can save whatever ones you want. You can continue rolling up to 3 times, and then once you're finished those 3 rolls, that is going to be your end state. So yes, and then you're just going to be crossing off things here on your menu. Off the game, and if you look at the back, you have a little chart here, and I'm using the traditional menu. I scored 56, which, oh no, it says 64 and below. You need more time to ferment. Oh, that's unfortunate. Did I add things up wrong? Let me make sure I added everything up correctly. I did all 10 rounds. Basically in the solo mode, you have to do 10 rounds and you're trying to get the most victory points. All right, well, clearly I need more practice at cooking Korean food. But that was a lot of fun. That was really cute. I liked that a lot. I will say the markers that came with this game are really bad. So I actually switched over and I used a marker from Rolling Realms, which Rolling Realms markers are probably my go-to. Whenever I play a roll and write that has dry erase, I always grab a Rolling Realms pen or marker because they're the best. Ugh. I don't know if it's just this board, but like, I don't know if you guys can see that, but all of the markers like all smudged all over it. I'll have to go and get like a wet piece of paper towel and wipe it off. Are these two not the cutest things you've ever seen in your entire life? I love that they hang out with me here in the board game room. But anyways, I am finished setting up Black Sonata, which the setup for this is quite interesting because you basically have to create the like path of the Dark Lady for like deduction and stuff. So you have to choose one of like 8 different sequences, and you have to take out all of the cards in that sequence, and then you have to put them into alphabetical order, and then you have to like cut the deck as many times as you'd like, and that kind of determines the Dark Lady's hidden movement on the map, which I think is very cool. And then you have to choose a Dark Lady, which this is the one that I am trying to deduce and figure out. And basically you're trying to figure out the 3 icons, which are a mix of these icons here, that are on that Dark Lady. So you're trying to deduce those 3, and then if you can get them right, you win. These here are to put onto the different locations of the map to deduce where she currently is, because in order to get more clues, which is going to be more of the Dark Ladies that are not chosen, they basically help you deduce which 3 are on that Dark Lady or the actual Dark Lady. And in order to get more of those, you have to be in the same space as her and search for her and successfully find her. And you're going to do that with these different location cards that have these holes in them. Super cool. I think this game is like just very unique and very like well made. So very excited to play it. So we're going to get started. Woohoo! And I actually think that this copy of Black Sonata I don't think has ever been played, because all the cards were in order, they were in like perfect condition, and each of the like cards, so like the smaller cards as well as the larger cards, you guys saw that they actually have little individual boxes, which I thought was nice. So anyways, let me set you guys up and we're gonna play some Black Sonata. We're gonna do some deducing. Okay, so I've decided to start on this location of the map, which is Cornhill. And I do believe that the new rules, I don't know if this is like the most recent rules or not. I think in the new rules, because I was watching a playthrough that Monique from Before You Play did, and she said in the new rules, the starting location, because whenever you go to a location that you've never gone to before, you get the location card of that location to have for the future. So in the new rules, I guess it is that the starting location that you're at, you don't get the location card for. So you have to move off of that starting location and then back onto it in order to get to that location card. So I'm going to play with that. Pawn shows me. Okay, so I do think that I have the most recent rules, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so I don't start with the location card of the location that I start, but I'm always going to have this deck of cards in my hand, and you have to really make sure that when you're taking off the next card that you don't reveal the card underneath it, because that's going to give you a lot of information when it comes to the deduction. So I am going to, let's start the game and determine where the Dark Lady could possibly be. So basically, I'm going to put this to the back of the deck, and then she is going to be in a location that has the, what is this? Playhouse. So she could possibly be here. She could possibly be here. And she could possibly be up here. Okay. So that's the information that I have. She always does that. She's always going to move to one new location. And based off of where she is and where she moves, that's where you can do the deduction of where she could now be based off of the icons in the adjacent locations. So before I do that, so we've already determined where she could possibly be, I now get to do an action, which one action can be to move. So I could move to a location. So there is a possibility that she could move down to Bishop's Gate. So I could move over to Bishop's Gate in hopes that she moves down there, and then I can do a search action, which is another action that you can do. You can search at the location that you're currently in, and you have to have the location card of that location, which obviously if you moved into that location, you would have the location card. So then you could do a search, and then you would take the card of the round that you're in, you would put the location card on top of it. No, you put it below it, because then you're going to flip it over, and then if the Dark Lady's silhouette is in this little hole spot, this little keyhole, then that means, or this little magnifying glass hole, then you have found her, and then you get a new clue. But another thing you can do is you can pass, or you can also, if you have a fog card on that round, which I will kind of explain that as I get to that, but basically when you search, you're going to take the card that is currently on the top and replace it with the fog card, and if you get to a round where you've revealed a fog card that you placed into the deck before, you can decide to use the fog card and its ability on the back of it. So those are the 4 different options. Obviously the fog card option is not an option unless you have a fog card at the top. So I think that's actually what I'm going to do. I'm going to move to Bishop's Gate. So that actually means that I get to get the Bishop's Gate location card available to me. And then we are going to reveal her next movement, which I will say that if she, we're not going to be able to deduce very much unless she moves to a house, because then it will be a 50-50. So we're going to reveal she is moving to a house. Heck yeah. So this location here is adjacent. Dang it, it's not. So the odds of me actually searching for her and being successful is a 1 in 4 chance, which is not very good. So I think I'm just going to move again. And I think the best place for me to move would maybe be to Cornhill. If I move back to Cornhill, that's an option for 2 of where she could possibly be. So if she's here or here, she could possibly move down to Cornhill if I get that like coin icon. Whereas she could move from here or here. Ugh, this is not going well. So I think I'm going to move to Cornhill. That will then allow me to get the Cornhill location card, which is good. Also, you can really tell that this game is new because the little punched out spots in some of these cards are not even punched out yet, which is pretty cool. All right, so now we're moving back to her turn. We're going to move this card, of course. Okay, so this one here, the icon that just got revealed was the cross. So Bishop's Gate has a cross itself. So she, on this location, so she's definitely not there because none of the adjacent locations have a cross. So we're going to take that off. But this location here is adjacent to 3 crosses. We love to see it. So she could possibly be, oh no, it's not. Amazing. because Cornhill is here. So this location is actually adjacent to 2 spots. So here and then here as well. Let me take this so I don't get confused. And then this one, Blackfriar, is adjacent to the same 2, so we're just going to take that off. And then this one here is adjacent to one down here. All right, what do I want to do now? I could... Here, the only adjacent spot, I guess, if I move to Cripplegate, it's a possibility that she could move there if I reveal a house next. But then she could also be at Blackfriars. But I guess we could just continue that way and kind of move towards her. I think I'm going to do that, because then I can also get the location card for Cripplegate, which I will say, eventually, once you collect all of the location cards, you will reveal this clue right here, which is kind of nice. So I think I'm just going to continue with this game. Obviously, I don't want to talk through the entire game because then this vlog is going to be crazy long. I am going to continue the game and I will tell you guys how it goes, or I will chime in at some interesting times. All right, friends, so this has been insane. This game is very fun and I'm very excited to play this again, but I think I possibly have deduced down what the 3 icons are on the Dark Lady here, which I just revealed the 1 clue that was underneath all of the locations. So I got through all of the locations. I've gone to every single location on the map, and I have unlocked this clue, which is the 5th clue. So I have 4 other clues here that I got from successfully searching for the Dark Lady in the specific locations and finding her in those locations. So I've gotten 4 clues plus the 1 that I got for visiting every single location. And I think based off of all of the things here, which I will kind of explain, this is what a card looks like, and this is a Dark Lady. So this is what the layout of the actual Dark Lady that I am currently searching for looks like. So I am trying to figure out the 3 icons that she has here. And you do that by looking at this side here, which is going to have 1 of every single icon. This one is like the acorn. So the one that I am looking for is the, I think it's like a leaf or like an oak leaf or something. But you look at that and then it tells you how many icons this Dark Lady has with the one that we're trying to figure out. So in this situation here, if it's the oak leaf that we're trying to look for, this Dark Lady that I'm holding on to has 0 or 2 icons in common. So now she is in 1 of 2 locations, which I could search Cripplegate, 50-50 chance. She's either at Cripplegate or Bishopsgate. I'm at Cripplegate, so I think it's just, it makes sense for me to do it. So I'm going to take off this card. I'm doing it underneath the table so I don't see anything, because you don't want to see the card that's next, because that will give you a lot of information. So I have the location. We are going to search in Cripplegate. So we're going to put this underneath. And if this is the Dark Lady, if I have found her, I can then see if I have chosen the correct icons. If it's not, then we got to continue looking for her. Boom. Yes, we got her. We got her. Okay, so she was in Cripplegate, which is amazing. This would give me another clue, but I am not going to take a clue. So I'm just going to say I'm going to try to confront the Dark Lady. We're going to look at her icons, and we will see if we got it correct. So we are looking for music note, wedding band, rattle. 1, 2, 3, boom. We did it. I even put it in the correct order too. Dang. Oh, that was great. So the real Dark Lady was Amelia Lemire. Ooh, I really enjoyed that. Now I know why a lot of solo players talk about this game a lot, because the look of the game is not great. I will say that. Even like the game box, but like that gameplay was super fun. So yeah, that was Black Sonata. All right, so funny little thing about me that I'm sure a lot of my friends know as well. I don't punch my games when I like get them right away. So a lot of the times I'll go to play a game, I'll learn a game. Normally when I do learn a game, I either just quickly open the box and grab the rule book, or I just watch a how to play video. But yeah, sometimes I just forget that I have not punched the game at all before I play it. So sometimes when I open a game to either play solo or even multiplayer, this has happened a few times. Specifically, it happened with Civolution, which is not great because that game took a little bit to actually like punch and set up. But I don't punch them out until I play it. So yeah, that's what happened here. So I'm gonna have to punch Flower Fields before we play. All right, so we are about to play Flower Fields, which, like I said, the like way you're drafting is somewhat similar to Patchwork in a way, where you can only draft the thing that's right in front. Fun fact, I don't actually full on know how to play Patchwork. I've played it multiple times on BGA, but I still do not fully understand the like time and buttons thing. I'm pretty sure whatever buttons you have on your board is how many buttons you can spend each turn. Could be wrong. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't even know what the time is about. Who knows? I should probably learn how to play that before I play anymore on BGA. But I have recently found out that the new 10th anniversary printing of Patchwork has a solo mode in it, which is really exciting. I do love Patchwork. It's very fun, even though I don't know how to play it. But anyways, this one has a little bit of that with, drafting. At least I think. But basically you can only draft whatever is in front of the sun, which you can decide to move the sun multiple spaces, but every tile you skip over, you do have to add a bee meeple, which these bee meeples are very cute. They're very teeny tiny. My only thing is that they're only screen printed on the one side. So one side is just plain black, and then the other side is screen printed with the yellow stripes and wings. So that's a little bit sad, but they still are very cute. They're the smallest little bee meeples I've ever seen. And you do have to, I believe, place your first tile touching the bottom. So whatever one you decide, it's going to go from there. And then from there, you have to place tiles adjacently to another tile you've already placed. You have some places here that are already printed on the board. You have these different hives, which basically at the end of each round, you're going to get bees equal to the amount of hives showing minus any of these spider webs showing. So you're going to try to cover up spider webs, but at the same time, not covering up the beehives. And then you're trying to make the biggest groups of the different colors. So you have yellow, red, and blue are the three main colors. And then you also have the white, or this like green color, that you're also getting victory points for your biggest group of white. But the colors, so the blue, the red, and the yellow, some of the places have bees, so you can actually place your bee meeples onto these, and that's how you're going to score the biggest groups of these three colors. Is you're going to score the amount of sections in that group times how many bees are on that group of colors. So, all right. So, I believe I go first. Then you take your normal turn. Never mind, the AI goes first. So I'm just gonna shake these and throw them. And we got a 2. So 2, it says move the sun token one space in a clockwise direction. Place one bee from the general supply on the skipped flower, then remove the flower tile that follows the sun token. So they are gonna go boop, place one here, and they're going to take this one away, which is fine with me. Alright, so I've finished up Flower Field. I just need to do my endgame scoring. I will say that I probably did very bad. I don't know if perform all the steps at the end season as usual. After the third season, check your level. So I don't know if I'm supposed to do the like gather of bees because I don't think that I get any points for extra bees, so it doesn't matter. So at the end of the third season, we're gonna go into final scoring. I have a ton of bees left over. At first I was gonna put down another bee onto this blue area, but I decided not to because I actually forgot that different rows and columns score, which I was not paying attention to the entire game. So I was like, you know what, let's not do that. Let's instead grab a tile because there was only one tile left and I knew that the AI was probably going to take that tile. The one thing that I have noticed with this game is that the AI always goes first. They always take their action and then you take your action after the beginning of every season. And most of the time they end the season as well. So the season just immediately ends when the AI or you takes the last tile. And most of the seasons, the first two seasons, the AI both started the season and ended it. So me as the player got one less turn every single round, which is a little bit unfortunate, but I don't know if that's just how it ended up working. But I ended up doing pretty well. I almost filled my entire board. There's a few single spots that if you do get a single spot, you know that you will never fill those because the smallest tile is a 1x2. So that is okay. I did get quite a few rows and columns. 30, 40, 50, 66. 66. So that is my final score. And 66 is really bad. It's the second worst possible thing that you can get. So there's either 0 to 50 points, that is a city dweller. 51 to 70 is where I got, and that is a flower lover. I do love that. Anyways, I'm going to clean this up, and then I think I might set up Evergreen. And then once I'm finished setting up Evergreen, I might just go do some laundry or something for now. I have a ton of laundry to put away, actually, which I will not bore you guys with that in this vlog, but yeah, I might set up Evergreen, and then I'll talk to Francis about what we're doing for, oh shoot. I guess it doesn't matter. I can probably put the small tiles in here. No, I should put them in a bag. I'll go talk to Francis about what we're doing for dinner. But yeah, clean this up and then I'll see you guys later. Okay. Hello, friends. I am back. We had some sushi for dinner. Francis ordered some sushi, which was amazing. And I have now ordered Dairy Queen. So we're waiting for our dessert. But I think I still haven't decided if I want to play with the Pines and Cacti expansion. Basically, it adds in a few different modules that you can bring into the game. You do have to, if you decide to use the Pines or the Cacti, you have to then get rid of one of the special abilities from here. And I don't know if I want to do that quite yet. I think I might play it just base game, just so I can get a better feel for it. I have already played this solo on BGA, only one time, and I didn't really know what was going on, so I think it's probably better for me, just for now, to play without the expansion, and then later on, once I've played it a bit more, then I'll be able to add in these different modules. So, okay, so I think I'm going to place these over here. So there's always going to be these like fertility symbols at the top. They don't mean anything for the card that you draft. There's always going to be cards that you're going to be drafting each round, and the card that you draft is going to determine the different terrain spot that you're going to be placing sprouts, small trees, large trees in. But the one that's left over is going to be the one that's going to be added to the fertility piles, and then basically at the end of the game, the fertility numbers are going to determine how many victory points each, I believe, large tree is in that specific terrain type. Could be wrong. The thing is that when I played it on BGA, it does all the scoring for you, so I wasn't 100% sure like what exactly the endgame scoring was. So I think I'm going to probably read over endgame scoring here before I get into it, but whatever card is left over after everyone has drafted is going to be added to the fertility piles, and then the more fertility symbols that are in each of these different terrain types are going to get the trees in that terrain more victory points. So it's an interesting kind of thought there. Let's shuffle these up, and then like I said, I am going to read over the end game scoring quickly, just so I know, and like end round scoring too. Alright guys, so I have finished playing Evergreen and I really enjoyed it. I just did absolutely horrible. So I scored 115, I'm pretty sure, and that in the rule book is considered broccoli. Yes, you've heard me right. I am broccoli. Which is the worst score that you can get. Basically, it is 120 or less. I scored 115. I actually went and looked back at my other score on BGA, and I scored 113, so I did even worse on BGA. I do not know how I am playing this game wrong. I don't know if there's some sort of better strategy. I felt like it was very difficult to, there's like a lot of things that you're trying to think of at the same time, and then the card that you draft really determines a lot of things as well, especially when you're playing with the AI, because based off of whether you're first player or the AI is first player, they're going to have like a priority chart of what card they're going to draft. They don't do anything with that card, they just take it away. But then also the card that you draft, the one left over, because in a solo game you have 3 cards, you take one, the AI takes one, and then there's one left over that then you have to put into the fertility area here. If you ever leave one of these cards behind and it gets added into the fertility area, it has a little skull, that actually gets rid of, if these 2 cards were the current cards that were out for the like Arctic terrain, then if this was added, the one with the skull, that would actually get rid of these, and it would kind of reset the winter or Arctic terrain to 0. So if you were trying to get a lot of trees in this light blue section, and then the endgame scoring was just all of a sudden taken away and reset, it is quite damaging. So sometimes you are forced, or you're really wanting to draft that card. If you draft it yourself, it doesn't do anything. It's just when it is added into the fertility area. I have a very hard time saying fertility, apparently. So yeah, it's this very interesting push and pull of like, what do I draft? What do I really want to draft based off of what action I want to take? But then what do I end up having to draft because I don't want that end game scoring to reset? So I actually really enjoyed that part. I love the challenge of that. I just need to play this more to get better at it. Another thing is this game is absolutely beautiful. There is something about the aesthetic of this game that I absolutely love. I love all of the different like terrain cards. You guys saw some of them already. but they are just so beautiful and like very, I just love the art style. It's very like minimalistic. Anyways, I am going to clean this up and I'm going to, I think I'm going to play the Lord of the Rings trick-taking game. I'm very, very intrigued to see how this goes. I really do feel like this game will play a whole lot better multiplayer, but I'm just intrigued to see how it is played solo. Because you are like open hand trick-taking with all characters, which is quite interesting. That's crazy. So I just shuffled the deck of all of the like trick-taking cards, and there is specifically a One Ring card that Frodo has to begin with, and you also have to take one card off the top of the deck, and that's like the lost card that you just place like near the chapter card that you're playing. And I just took one card off the top of the deck, and look at that. It's the One Ring. There you go. I am Frodo. Oh boy. I have a feeling this is going to be very challenging. But, like, honestly, it's kind of sounding like it's going to be better than I think it's going to be. I feel like I should know that solo trick-taking can be done because For Northwood is very fun. Okay. So currently, rings cannot be played into the first trick, or into tricks until it is played in offsuit. So I've put you guys over my shoulder so you can see the four hands here. Frodo has to win 4 or more ring cards, which is quite interesting. We'll see how that goes. He has the One Ring, which the One Ring can beat out anything, but cannot be obviously played into a trick unless he doesn't have that suit. But then also, if it's played alongside other rings, it's going to beat all of the other rings. The other rings are not really like trump. They just are used as any other suit. So it doesn't like, the rings aren't any stronger than any other card aside from the One Ring. So I moved the camera around so I could chat to you guys about my first impression, which, like I just said, this worked out a lot better and felt a lot better than I thought it would. I don't know why I had my doubts, because I've played For Northwood quite a bit, and you are literally playing solo trick-taking against a deck of cards, just like you are here. But with this one, instead of playing against an AI that's just a deck of cards, you are, because it is a cooperative trick-taking game, you are playing as all of the hands, and you can see everything, and it's really just a puzzle of trying to play out the cards in a certain order in order to successfully have all the characters achieve their goals. So that was very cool. I, like I said, did not expect that, so I am very happy right now. I kind of want to continue. Basically, there are a bunch of chapters. I don't know how many chapters there are, but it says after you're finished with chapter 1, or once you're finished with like the intro scenario, which I guess this was what the intro scenario was, you can go into playing chapter 1, which they actually have a really cool insert here where you have like the different little places here that you have like the secret cards. So we have chapter 2. I don't know if there's like multiple chapters in here. Chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, chapter 6, chapter 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there is chapters 2 to 12 in part 1. And then part 2, you proceed after chapter 12. I could have just read that instead of counting all the cards. And there's also part 2 here, which is, I don't even know how many chapters because it's still in shrink. I'm just going to keep it in shrink because I want it to be a surprise. So I'm very happy right now because I really just thought it was going to be 3 chapters, but part 1 is, 11 chapters in its own after this intro. So do I want to play chapter 2? Should I play chapter 2? Maybe I'll play chapter 2, but off camera, because I don't want it, to spoil it for you guys if you do end up getting the trick-taking game. Or maybe I'll just play this another time and we can move on to Dorf Romantik. So I have finished my game of Dorf Romantik Sakura, and I think I did pretty good, to be honest with you. So my ending score ended up being 121 victory points. You also score for your longest road as well as your longest river, which I had my longest road here, which was 10 tiles, and my longest river here, which is my horseshoe river, that was 7 tiles. So that is how you get your end score. There's going to be additional things that you score for as you go throughout the campaign. So as you go through the campaign, you're going to be able to unlock more and more things that are going to get you more and more victory points, therefore getting you up to those higher scores in order to get through these different paths, which, like I said here, this is your big campaign page, which I think is so cool. And then you're just basically going to look at your result here on the chart. So for me, I scored 121. So you're always going to round down to the nearest thing. So I got 120, which is Puppeteer. Not the best score, but it's fine. For the 120, I was able to cross off 2 things, which actually is really awesome. So you start here, and then it tells you based off of your score how many of these little dots you can cross off, which, like I just said with mine, I am going to cross off 2, which that gets me to the first little box here, which is that I am able to open box number 1, which, because this is like a campaign game, I'm going to open it off of camera because I don't want to spoil it for anybody that wants to get this game. But like I anticipated, I do think I'm really going to enjoy this solo because I've always been a huge fan of those cozy video games of Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing and those things where you're kind of always working on the next goal. And I really enjoy that solo and just by myself. So I feel like this will be a really good one for me to take out and continue. I feel like this might be a campaign game that I can actually get through. I actually have both my city and my island, which are also kind of tile laying campaign games, and I've wanted to play them so badly. But they don't have a solo mode, which breaks my heart because I would be through my city and my island if they had a solo mode, because this type of game as a campaign game is definitely the type that I prefer, as opposed to those big story driven campaign games, which I'm going to try to get into a little bit more. But I feel like this is a great way to get into campaign games and not have all of that stuff to like worry about. It's kind of just chill and easy, and it's not easy because it's pretty puzzly, and you guys saw that I thought I did pretty well, and I literally got the third worst score. So yeah, but I do think that that is going to be everything for today's vlog. I mentioned that I needed to do laundry, and I ended up not doing laundry in between flower fields and Evergreen, so I gotta get to my laundry. It is now 11 o'clock, so hopefully I can get some laundry put away, and I'm going to head to bed, and tomorrow is Monday, so I am going to edit this vlog tomorrow, get it up for you guys tomorrow as well, and I am really, really excited for this series of videos. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I feel like, be a better way for me to kind of just show you guys me and my personality, and also, like I said before, getting more games played, because I just feel like I haven't been able to do that. So really killing two birds with one stone, which I hate that saying, but being able to create content but also play a lot of games at the same time, I think it'll be really good. So anyways, thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. I appreciate you so, so much. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. That really helps to let me know if you guys really did enjoy it. And then also hit the subscribe button down below if you've yet to do so. We'd love to have you here in the garden, especially moving into the new year. There's a lot of really exciting videos coming up. All of my end of year videos and my 2025 moving forward videos, and then obviously more of these solo Sunday videos. I am super excited about them. So definitely hit that subscribe button, join the family, join the garden. Comment down below if you guys enjoy this. Also, if there are any solo games that you would like to see me play here, please let me know down in the comments. If you guys are interested, like I said, I do have my Patreon, and moving forward with these solo Sunday videos, I am going to be doing a poll over there of the games that I'm going to be playing during these solo Sunday videos or vlogs. So if you guys want to support the channel, if you want to join that and have your voice heard and be able to put in some input on the games that I play during these videos, then definitely go check out the Patreon. And yes, that is everything. I love you guys so, so much. Remember, you are somebody's reason to smile. I hope you have a great holiday season. This is the last video before Christmas, so if you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. Hopefully you have a wonderful holiday season with family and friends and yourself, and just relaxing and really just enjoying the rest of 2024. Yeah, I love you guys. Remember, you're somebody's reason to smile, and I will see you in the next board game video. Bye, friends.